In this week's business model, the guest is a renowned model figure in the industry. He has been one of the faces in TV commercials, and he strutted his sultry self down numerous catwalks with renowned brands such as Diesel, Levi's, Raoul, and Valentino Rudy. What happens if a model is searching for another model? Let's find out more about this week's hunky business models, Carl Graham.
I'm actually one of those people. I was a good student. I can say that. I was a good student. I was pretty focused in school. Not really rebellious, not really crazy. I enjoyed my sports. You know, I was captain of the football team, the basketball team, hockey. I was a very sporty person, very active. Most days I'd be doing something. I would never really sit there and just play on the computer games or anything. I wasn't one of those who just went to school, come back, computer games, went to school, come back. You know, I was very active inside school as well. So I was actually a pretty decent student, and I enjoyed school. I really enjoyed school, which many people are surprised by, because a lot of people don't have a good time in school. But, of course, like with everybody, there's always issues. You know, a lot of time, I had a bit of bullying, when I was younger as well. And it wasn't necessarily on the bad side of bullying, but there was an element of it. You know, when you have groups of people not really understanding who you are. I think because I was quite well known and quite popular at that time, other people didn't like that. So they caused a lot of problems. And I think I learned a lot. I think I learned a lot back then. I enjoyed my school. The school that I went to was a really nice school. I actually had to take an exam to get into that school. It was one of the first main city technology colleges in the UK. And I was really lucky to get there. And I think that helped really with everything that I was doing, the type of person I am. It was a variety school, so it wasn't just that they took the brightest students or the people who paid the money to join. They actually had some crazy people there. Some people who, their families have struggled, psychology problems, all these sorts of things. So actually as a child, as a young teenager, I was subjected to a lot of different types of people. I have a brother and a sister. Fantastic. Actually, my brother lives in Malaysia as well now. He's been here for 2 years. My sister's still in the UK. My mother and father, they divorced when I was young. So I think that made me very independent as well. At the time, you don't know it, when I was 4 years old, obviously I was a bit, why don't I spend so much time with my dad? And I lived with my mother. And I think that also helped me as well. I mean, at the time, you don't realise that as well, but now looking back, living with my mother, seeing my father now and again each week, being subjected to that different sort of lifestyle, rather than just the parents at home doing the thing, and then you come in from school and both of them are there with dinner on the table. It wasn't like that, because my mom had to work a lot to support all three of us. She was very young when she had us as children, so it was a very semi-lonely, because my brother and my sister were a little bit older than me, so they were already out with their friends, they were already doing their thing. And as I say, my mum, she worked a lot. So I think at that time, that's when I became a little bit more independent, around about 13, 14. I'd cook my own dinners, cook my own breakfast, go to school when I need to. I would say I was very old to start modelling. If you know the modelling industry, then you know that most people start when they're 15, 16, when they're doing, they get spotted McDonald's or somewhere, you've heard all the stories of people getting spotted. And I started when I was 22, which was actually late. But again, that was a good thing, because I wasn't subjected to the whole modelling industry. You're young, you've got to go here, you've got to be skinny and this and that. It was like my knowledge was built around the fact that I didn't just have one agency organising my time, which a lot of people went through. I had many different agencies. I had to organise my own time, I had to sort of learn the ropes. I knew nothing about the industry. I came from an engineering background. I was an engineer for 4 or 5 years before that. And I had a fantastic job. I was a really good engineer. I had an amazing job, and I really loved it, and I had a big opportunity with that company to do many, many things. So when I started, it was a bit like that. I'm giving this all up. I had a house, I had a car, I had a full-time job. But I had to be smart with it, because there wasn't just somebody who would say, you can be this type of model, that's what you're going to be. There's none of that. I was 22 and I didn't really look like I do now then. I'm not saying that people didn't say, oh, you're a good-looking boy, good-looking this, but it's a different level. If you're good-looking in a nightclub, doesn't mean you're good-looking and going to be a great model. It's completely different. So I had to learn a lot by that. And I don't think that I went into modeling because I thought I was good-looking. I went into it just because it was the unknown, and because I'm a Sagittarian and I just go hell for leather and just do whatever I want to. That when I got into modeling, it was an unknown. I had no idea, and I loved that, and I still love it now. That's sort of my drive, I think, is never staying still, not really understanding it, and then learning how to become good at something. I travelled for, I'd been a model in England for 4 years, and I moved on because I wanted something different. So then I started travelling the world, and that was for 4 years or more. And then I wanted to do something else because I got bored of that as well. And it's not the fact that I got bored of it, I just got a bit like, what's next, Like, what is next, really? Okay, I'm travelling from one country to another. What a wonderful life. I'm meeting many, many different people. But I realised that it doesn't matter what country I go to or how many people I meet, the foundation of most people is exactly the same. I met so many people, and I think that I still had this, I want more. I don't just want to travel from one place to another and rely on agencies to get me money, to give me the lifestyle that I really wanted, and to do the stuff that I love to do, because I never had the time. When I was modelling and travelling, I never had the time to actually do the stuff that I love to do, because I was so busy casting, modelling. Oh, you got to go here. Poof. Casting, modelling, oh, you gotta go back there, boom, casting, modelling. And it just became like, well, this isn't really what I want to do. I love doing the modelling, but I don't love all those other bits in between. 2 years ago, which is why I decided to, set up business. So, yeah, I did want to change, and I did, yeah. Various people throughout my life have been an influence, and I've taken many, many lessons from each of them. And I love every single one of them for doing that for me, whether they're in my life now or they're not. I think that you have to take many different lessons from many different people. So there's not just one person who's inspired me, but several people along the way to give me that kick. And we all need it. We all need to have those people who just go, look, you can do this, you can. And you're like, oh yeah, I want to be like that, I want to do this. And that's when you push forward.